If you join me to start the meeting, we'll say the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Schulte, here. Mr. Loring, here. Mr. Helmers, here. Mr. DeBoer, here. I'm here. First look at our agenda for today, December 23. Go with what's provided.
Any changes?
I don't have any.
Make a motion on the agenda.
Second it.
A motion from Schulte, support from DeBoer to approve today's agenda. Any discussion? No discussion. Those in favor of approval signify with aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, same sign. We would next look at minutes from our December 9 meeting. They're provided. The printer's acting up a little bit. A few light spots.
Yeah, I think it's my print, but I tried to change it all and it went, I don't know what I did wrong. It is what it is.
I'll make a motion to accept those minutes.
Second
Motion from Helmers, support from Loring to approve, accept and approve the December 9 minutes. Any discussion? Hearing none. Those in favor of approval signify with aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, January schedule. I believe you've been looking at the 2nd. It's required. The 13th and the 27th.
Yeah, I got Ryan coming from Assured Benefits on the 20th. If that works. He's gonna be in Dickinson that day, so that's why oh, I don't know. I can change it too, I just.
Mindful of budget. Setting meetings. I do have an ISAC board meeting on Wednesday the 21st and Thursday the 22nd. One day of that week is Martin Luther King Jr. Day, so I don't think we'd have a board secretary if we'd scheduled a meeting that day.
No, we're not. I don't know, budgets, did you want to do it 2 days or do you want to do it one long day? I don't know what the board wants.
These are we looking at the 2nd, 13th, 20th, and 27th?
Sure. Like I said, the 20th, if you don't, we can, I didn't know if you wanted to start reviewing on the 20th and then on the 27th have more, or 2 days, or I don't know what you want to do.
That approach sounds good to me.
Well, I was thinking review budgets on the 20th, start them, and then have reviewed the rest on the 27th instead of 2 days in a row. Do 2 different Tuesdays, or?
Sounds good.
Scratch the 13th.
Well, we still need the 13th for claims, so it'd be like the 2nd, the 13th, 20th, and the 27th with budgets review on the 20th and 27th. And I don't know how that works.
You can't be there on the 21st, Jason?
21st and 22nd won't, well, I can, but I'd be missing.
No, I
ISAC meeting.
that's not good. I just said do it all on the 20th, but that's up to you guys.
Well, we can, because all I have on the 20th right now is Ryan. So we can make a long day of it and do all the budgets. I can do whatever. Usually, we go down with 15 minutes, all we need per department, except for ones that are a little bit larger, then it takes longer, but.
It's up to the rest of the board. I'd rather do it all in one day. Get it over with.
motion for the second, 13, 20, and 27.
And then
Budget's on the 20th.
budget's on 20th, okay.
See how far we get.
Support for the motion for the 2nd, the 13th, the 20th, and the 27th.
I'll support it.
Okay, we have a motion from Schulte, support from DeBoer. Set our January schedule as the 2nd, the 13th, the 20th, and the 27th, with the 20th being budget review day. Any further discussion? No discussion. Those in favor of that schedule signify with aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, same sign. Okay. Let's start on consideration of elected officials' compensation. Requests provided, or suggestion provided. Don, I appreciated your letter and the information for the entire staff, but generally it's for just considering the elected officials'
Okay.
salary to this point, and then usually gets passed along.
I didn't
within the
find out
budget.
about it until I think the Friday before it was due, and I was in court last week, so I just kind of did what I thought.
It's fine to include that.
Yeah.
Okay,
And then we would review it more during the budget
that's
time on the
fine.
20th of January, but. Historically, what the board approves for the elected officials is what has been passed along to the staff within each office. Board chair stipend 1,000. Thank you. That's all. Varying levels of requests or recommendations.
Personally, I think I could live with 4%.
Hopefully have to take final action on this today, but giving some guidance as they start the budget process as to what they would plug in for staff would be beneficial undoubtedly.
Is there somewhere that we could figure, I'm sure you have the last 5 years percentages.
I do.
You don't have to do that right now, but
Yeah, I have it. I can,
I thought I saw.
should have made copies and I didn't. I don't think I made copies, but I did something. Three and a half. Mhm.
you can do it.
Well, I did it, and I don't know. Just gotta, if I kept a copy here or not. Yeah. Here it is. I didn't make copies, and I can.
We do have 9 o'clock. We'll have to consider this further when we have, I'm sorry, all.
He can call you back in if they need to.
A quick question, I guess, would you prefer we give an idea of a percent to work with and we may have to go down from in the future, or would you prefer us kind of target what we'd have in mind and see if the budget would allow consideration up to the requested amounts? Follow that? Do we say, okay, most are asking 4, go ahead and plug 4 in and we'll see what it looks like, we might have to go down, and then people are thinking, oh, we're not getting 4, we're only getting 2.5 or whatever. Or do we say, we're really looking at probably 2.5%, if budgets allow, we may go up to 4. Would you prefer to plug in a higher number, maybe having to bring it down, or a lower number? You know, generous us will probably go up from.
The lower number, I guess.
With budgets, it doesn't,
Yeah, we're gonna have to change it.
yeah, I don't know where we're at with valuations or anything yet, or I don't know any of that.
That's why I don't know that I'm ready to make a final decision today, but to plug something in and have a better idea when we find that. So, okay, sorry for my confusion. Thank you. Do what I do best.
They kind of had a blank look on their face.
Makes
Well-
sense in my head, but that's about the only place.
I mean, nothing's finalized until the budget hearing. That's when you have to approve a resolution before you hold the budget hearing, so.
So, sorry to delay. We do have a 9 o'clock item with the budget amendment, public hearing. We'll ask if there's been any written comments concerning the public hearing. If none, then we'd open it up for public comment concerning the budget amendment.
My only comment is I budgeted for adult services and I got a bill for $4,000 that I didn't know about, so I'll probably be in the red again, so. It's court ordered, so there's nothing I can do about it, so. And I didn't know anything about it. The court just keeps,
You can't change it yet?
I can't go up. I can go down, but I can't go up. I would increase it. But I mean, for the service area, I'm good with.
This
right
hearing
now.
will have to stay at the
Yeah,
level that was
yeah,
identified.
it does, unfortunately.
Even though we already know it's gonna be short.
Yep.
Or we now know.
Yeah, we don't know. And the clerks have no idea, they have no idea. Just one of those
With
things.
that note of information, any further comments from the public? Not, we would close the public hearing and we would then need to consider approval of resolution number 5, 2526 for the budget amendment.
The resolution's on the back of your sheet there, of your budget sheet. I was trying to conserve paper.
Green.
I'm trying.
Conservative.
I'm trying.
I'll make a motion on resolution 52526.
Second.
We have a motion from Schulte, support from Loring for approval of resolution number 5, 2526 on the budget amendment. Any further discussion? No, and Rochelle will come back to us again. We'll vote on resolution number 5. Mr. Schulte, how do you vote?
Aye.
Mr. Loring?
Aye.
Mr. Helmers?
Aye.
Mr. DeBoer?
Aye.
And I vote aye. Have approval of the amendment. And we have also at this time consider approval of secondary road DOT budget.
That just basically takes what the action you just took and puts it in, approving it for the DOT side of things. We have to do dual budgeting for them, so it's the same news.
Board action. Approve that.
Action for the DOT. It's the same thing. It's essentially the same amounts carried forward from last fiscal year for work that was being actually billed this fiscal year.
I'd like to give consideration to approval of the secondary road DOT budget.
Make a motion. And I'll support.
I have a motion by Loring, support from Helmers. Discussion on the secondary road DOT budget. Hearing none, those in favor signify with aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, same sign. All right. And we have 9 minutes to go back to consider elected officials' compensation. My concern with the question to the elected officials was if we say, yeah, the 4% doesn't sound bad, and every employee hears, we're getting 4%, and then budgets don't look so good, and we go down to, just throwing numbers out, 2.5, all of a sudden they feel like they got a wage decrease, but they never had, whereas,
That they never had.
yeah. But I don't know that I disagree with Mike that 4% doesn't seem unreasonable, but I want to see how it looks in the scheme of things. Is there a number we'd prefer to set as a floor that we maybe could go up from, or? And do we go across the board or address offices differently as the requests indicated?
I don't think we can we?
I think they changed that law. I was trying to look at that yesterday, I couldn't find it, but
I haven't heard that.
when they got rid of the comp board, you could address it separate. But I couldn't find that in the code. I was trying to find that yesterday, couldn't come up with that code section.
We'll do something, I'd rather go straight across the board for everybody. That's just my thought.
Yeah, would probably be best.
I don't know whether counties have done flat dollar amount increases versus a percentage, but
If my chicken scratch is right, over the last 7 years, it's 3.75%
It's an average.
average, if my chicken scratch is right. I guess not knowing what our budget will be, it's pretty tough to say 4%. I'd be more comfortable, we don't have to make that decision today with 3%. That's just my points. Are you chicken scratching too, Jason?
I was writing down the history here, but
If there's no decision today, we can still go up.
Yeah,
I like your idea of not saying 4, because we may not be able to get 4.
yeah, I think as long as we have a tentative amount, then we can start from there, and then when budgets come, we can figure out where we're at, because the evaluations aren't done yet, so I don't know where we're at there. We're close, but not quite done yet. It's easier it's easier to start down and going up than having to start high and then have to go down. That, I mean, you're thinking you're getting that and then you're not. That, I agree with that approach personally. But
Those are my thoughts.
hopefully the paper doesn't report this, but the lower we set it or consider at this point, the better it may position us for union negotiations too.
Right, right.
So that did weigh into it for me as well.
Where do you want to start at today then? What number?
3 and a 3.5 and a 4, or too much work?
That's a little, that's a lot. Yeah, our software isn't quite that simple to do that.
You're in the headlights look there.
Well, I mean, I can pencil it out, you know, but
Well, yeah, you can almost figure that out yourself.
yeah. I can do an Excel or something, but
As a whole, it's more than you think.
Yeah.
yeah, my office is easy, but you got Keith that has 16 employees, you know, that makes it a little bit more, 20, okay, sorry. Makes it a little bit more, you know.
And been hearing talk that sheriffs across the state are not pleased. Ours is not adversarial with us, nor did he really make a request. He just provided the information. That code says a simple look at it, to be comparable, we'd have to do a 10% increase. I don't think they've defined comparable, so maybe it's a wider range than some would think. But yeah, there's been talk of sheriffs across the state suing counties for not addressing that, so.
Do you want a number today, or do you want to wait?
I guess I'd like to see us provide something for them to operate budgets off of by the 2nd, if we want to put it
Yeah,
back
if you
on our
wanna
next
wait
meeting.
Till the 2nd is fine
But
too.
I don't know that I'd want to wait longer than that for them to plug it in.
'Cause we're already gonna have to wait till the 20th for insurance, you know, I'm just having them plug in what we're doing now currently, and then we'll adjust later if need be, or,
I think we have to have numbers to you to make the 20th.
well, I need them by the 9th of January is my goal. So I can get them all in the system and print it and all that good stuff. I mean, it's a little bit, you know.
Do you need that as a motion, or do you just need a?
I don't think so,
I
just
think we just have it
tentatively.
in the minutes, and then when we make a motion,
say 3%.
consider it in the budgets.
I'll just tell everybody
If
3%.
everybody else is okay with that.
That's fine.
Okay.
I can foresee potential of needing to be in the 2s, so I'm
Probably would
a
agree.
little concerned with starting at 3, but again, I'm not opposed to trying to see if we can make 4 work either, but.
I'm not opposed to that either, Jason. A little bit lower is a lot more easy to swallow than a lot bit lower.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. 4 to 2.75 is
Yeah.
far different than 3 to 2.75. Yep.
That was my thoughts.
Okay, no,
Tell me a number.
tentatively want to start with 3,
Are
but
we
we'll
gonna
maybe.
let's make a deal?
Let's make a deal. You need your costume on there, Jerry. Let's make a deal.
Okay, I would lower that to 2.75 then. If everybody's okay with that.
I'd rather stay with 3, but that's just me.
I'm trying to keep everybody, let's make a deal.
I know, so somebody's gotta be high and somebody's gotta be low.
Just tell me a number that I can tendency tell
I'll
everybody.
stay with my 3. If we gotta go down a 0.25%. then-
So 3, okay. Everybody's okay with that, telling everybody at 3? Okay, and then
And
go
it's,
from there?
we've got the potential of putting it on the meeting at the 2nd. Just let them know that it's
Yeah, right.
likely 3,
Right.
but if reconsideration is given, it'll be done by the 2nd, so.
Okay,
But I think starting with 3 to work off of should be
okay.
good. Is that fair consensus?
Yep.
Good with me.
All right, then we have, we did past 9:15. Sorry, Rides, would you mind joining us for to 9:15.
And you sent the rowdy one too, yeah. You sent the rowdy one too.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, well, thank you for the opportunity to be here. And Hugh extends his apologies. He's not able to be here. He had another commitment. So for those of you that don't know me, I'm Cindy BOS, the Associate Exec for RISE. We're also grateful for Mike on our board, and I was just sitting listening to him advocate for hiring. You just keep doing that, Mike. When we come and talk about raises, you can just.
Oh, don't worry, I'm waiting for you.
Oh, okay, oh, good. Do you all have the packet, or would you like a written copy? Okay, I just have some along in case. Yep. I sure do.
I didn't get that.
No problem. I realized this morning on the way over here, this is my 14th year of being here. That doesn't seem possible. I wish that I was sharing better news with you this morning. Usually I really look forward to these, but I've been sharing basically the same story with every county that I've been to, and that this is a really difficult year for RISE. We are operating in a deficit year. We anticipate that only getting worse as the changes in Medicaid and the changes in federal funds. We really have had kind of what I would call the perfect storm. We've had three things happen. First, they changed the Medicaid transportation when they changed the mental health care reform. Then we had COVID, and now we are really struggling with one broker in the state, and they literally are just choosing the cheapest per mile route or provider. We have a gal that we've been transporting in Hayward for a very long time, and she called me in tears because they're sending a driver from Fort Dodge to take her from her home to the hospital in Hayward, because that provider's rate is cheaper than ours. I don't know how that can possibly be efficient, but the system is struggling. And so the result is that we are as well. And what we're going to have to do is make some difficult decisions. It's a road, no pun intended, we don't want to go down, but we're going to have to. We are looking at service reductions, possibly fare increases, and as well, last resort, some staff reductions. We're going to have to figure out how to be efficient on less income. So we are grateful for anything that you guys provide. I know that we don't do a ton of trips because you're able to provide that yourself and your towns within yourselves as far as general public does. We do transportation for medical trips. I think next year we'll see a reflection in a downturn in that, in the way that they're billing those out and sending them out to other companies. What's frustrating for me is the individuals that, and this is affecting, often don't have a say in the process, and that's heartbreaking. But everything is kind of on the table right now as far as discussion and what we'll be looking at moving forward for ourselves in the future. But we are going to have to figure out how to be the most efficient we can be, take a look at where we're going to bleed the least in order to be the best stewards we can of the monies that are provided to us. So if you have any questions, I'm certainly happy to try and answer. I hate being Debbie Downer. I also am glad I'm not sitting in you guys' seats. Everyone that comes to you is going to have a request for funding, and they're all valid requests. They're all stories. They all have a reason and a need, and I don't envy your position of trying to figure out how to do that when you are also looking at budget constraints. So we appreciate that. We understand it. We respect this position you're in. We're just trying to be transparent and honest and tell you where we're at. So, Mike, is there anything you want to add to that?
No, you got it pretty well.
It's not a fun conversation, and it's not here. It's all 9 counties, and it's really transits across the state of Iowa, and even reaches further than that to a nationwide thing. We just are not. We did have Megan Jones. I know she doesn't cover this area. Representative up about a week ago, and really spoke with her about what we're seeing happen and the need for transit to stay vital in the state of Iowa, and for infrastructure to stay vital in the state of Iowa. So we are continuing to do whatever we can. We're trying to be creative and think outside the box and how we can continue to provide transportation and service our communities and friends in our area.
The state hasn't come up with their typical go-to of the state should be smart?
Not that we're aware of yet. But it is, the face of it is definitely changing. And we're going to have to figure out how to adjust to do that. We have seen a little bit of some of our waiver and Hope Haven trips returning. We've gone back to doing a little bit more of their group transportation, which is a good thing, but it's a fraction of what we used to do. Very small amount. And I think, the biggest thing right now is the system with the brokers. And the state of Iowa, the Iowa Public Transit Association, is working really diligently to try and get trips back under public transit. I don't know how familiar you are with that, but it used to be that anyone who had Medicaid or Title 19 for a trip the brokers were supposed to use public transit in that area as their first choice. Well, they've taken that away, and so that right of refusal or that right to request no longer exists. So individuals who have ridden with us no longer get to say, I want a rides driver. Now it's literally across and down, and here's the cheapest provider, and that's who we're going to send, whether they're coming out of Sioux City, Hayward, and Fort Dodge, wherever, regardless of what might be the best local choice. So.
And I really don't see any wasteful spending at rides either.
Yeah.
What was their contribution last year?
I think it was 1,000,
1,000.
1,200,
Okay.
something.
And this year's request is 25. But again, we get it. I wish I had a magic wand. I would certainly change it.
I don't think we've risen what we donate to them in quite a few years.
I don't think we've increased what we've asked in the time that I've been here. We've been the same, but we are looking to all the different areas for a higher increase. And we know it's not always doable. Again, we respect the position you guys are in as well.
Is there any way to know how much in city-wise, out of county, in the town of Sibley, percentage?
We don't provide transportation within the city. You guys do that
Yeah.
yourselves. So I don't have any costs for in-city,
Everything is
out of town.
out of town?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, that's what we're covering, yep. Yep, Sioux Falls, Sioux City, doctor's appointments, out of town. There may be a random, but let me look here.
Yeah, I've seen a rides bus at the hospital a few times.
Maybe, yeah, especially if it's a return or a discharge, or going from the hospital to the hospital. I can find that see if I can get that specific information for you if you'd like me to.
It's okay. It's gotta be, if you're not coming to Sibley very often, it's gotta be just about all
Minimum.
rural or other cities.
Right.
Do you do any rural?
If it's covered, it becomes cost prohibitive for folks otherwise. I wish we had a way to fund that. I would love to do, the entire county and all of our 9 counties, especially our smaller communities. I mean, public transit connects people with jobs, connects people with medical assistance. It connects people with, other human beings, which is important. No matter what that challenge is. If there aren't any further questions, I won't take any more of your time. I do appreciate the opportunity to be here and talk with you. I wish I had a more joyous conversation to have. But with that, thank you again for your consideration of rides in your budget. And I wish you all a very merry holiday, no matter how you choose to celebrate that. So thank you.
You too, thank you.
Thank you.
Before a minute, oh, go ahead.
No, I was just curious, Sibley's transit, do they make any money? Do they hang in there, or is
I
it?
think they're struggling as well, is what I've been told.
We did
But
have, Mike, did we not? I don't remember.
I don't think Pam ever got a hold of you guys.
Okay, because we did reach out to them about doing what we call purchase transit. where we would partner with them and we help subsidize that transportation. And then in turn, we're able to count the miles and the head count, which is how we get funded as far as the federal and state government goes. So that is an option that we'd be willing to talk with the city about if they have an interest in it. But that's totally up to them. It's not something.
We do that with Storm Lake, don't we?
Yes, we do that with Storm Lake, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Storm Lake Cab partners with us, and then, we're helping cover their costs. And it would start out slower and then build as it grows. There are requirements that they would have to do in order to do that. They'd have to maintain a drug and alcohol pool, which I'm assuming they probably already do for random testing. And meet some of the DOT things that hopefully they're already doing. And then it's a matter of some paperwork each month. And then we fund them, which would help their financial expenses. And then in turn, we count the head count and the miles, which is how the state and federal government fund us. So.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you again. Have a great day.
Probably sneak the considering the approval of the Quick Trip Class E retail alcohol license in before 9:30.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Motion from Helmers, support from DeBoer for approval of Quick Trip's Class E retail alcohol license. Any discussion? None. Those in favor signify with aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign.
I need to ask a favor of the board. If you guys know of any events happening, the alcohol division upgraded their system and changed it. And before I always got an email telling me that there's a renewal out there. I know they no longer do that. I have to go into the site daily to make sure that there's nothing out there. So if you know of something that I'm not aware of, I can check the site. I emailed all my city clerks because they're part-time and you're relying on this email coming to let you know that you have an alcohol license out there. If it wasn't for me looking back at the past agendas, I would have never known about Quick Trip. I would have never caught it.
Why can't we expect the entities to?
Well, maybe that too, but they also just gotta file with the state and the state notifies me, so they think they're done. They never had to notify anybody before because it's all through the state. Well, now their infinite wisdom changed it. And I called and they said they're looking into it, but no promises. I said, what? I'm frustrated. That's my frustration.
I'm not knocking, but how would we know?
Well, if you know of an event happening that like Melvin, for instance, for their celebration. But we know about that, so I can check on that. But if there's any other celebrations that I'm not aware of, just to notify me or something.
But like bars and that kind of stuff, do they notify you that theirs is coming up?
No. Before the whole system, 60 days before the renewal was to be reviewed, they notified the businesses and they notified me. That's no longer the case. Yeah. So I have it on my calendar of all the businesses that I currently have. But if there's anything new I don't know about. But I don't know, Harris and Melvin or Sibley, I don't know when their liquor license are due. And I don't see that.
Business.
Yeah, the businesses should know. But they're so. No. And they would assume they would get an email thinking they would get an email like they have in the past. They don't. I was mad. Enough of my complaining.
To our 9:30 item, we have a request from Upper Des Moines Opportunity for an annual report and budget request, funding request.
Hello, I'm Julie Edwards, Executive Director of Upper Des Moines Opportunity, and I'll let Shakira introduce herself.
And I'm Shakira Meyer, I'm Director of Development, Compliance, and Reporting, so the grant writing and all the data stuff behind the scenes.
So she knows a lot of the details. We haven't been here before because I was new and inherited, I've been walking the path that you guys are walking to, state issues, federal issues, and budget issues. So needed to get our ducks in a row and get as financially responsible as we could. And so I don't know how aware you are, but our outreach office here used to be 3 days a week. To budget cuts, we went to 2 days a week. We really increased our fundraising efforts throughout our 12 counties, strengthened the partnerships that were already existing with each county. And so now we kind of have a hold of it, and just thought it was an opportunity to come and share what was going on in your county with your citizens. So we'll go over some data with you. You can ask questions. We're both only a few years into this position, so we'll do the best we can. Even though we've been with Upper Des Moines Opportunity a long time, I worked at Head Start for 25 years or a little more before we moved in. So we did put in a request of $15,000. Understand you've got budget woes also. Just base that on the amount of clients we serve and the amount of support we receive from other counties. But we always look at it as a return on your investment. Without investing anything, we have put $217,299 of actual services out into your county. And so we'll walk through some of those numbers. If you want to look at the second page, I'm on the 2-page handout. The larger handout is our annual report, and that is on our udmo.com website that you can look back and review that. The second page here starts with our fiscal year, which starts October 1 and runs through September. The first chart talks about households that we assist. Keep in mind this isn't individuals in the household, it is just households. So that number looks different. In 2022 and 2023, there's a little asterisk in that first box because that's when COVID was happening. And as we all know, we had an influx of money. They decreased the requirements, so more people were eligible to receive services. So that kind of skews our data. In 2024, that data was fine, and we were taking numbers of who was coming in, but we were not able to get an unduplicated number. That did not happen until 2025. And I kind of chuckled at your alcohol keeping track of things issue. We implemented 2 new data systems in this 2025 fiscal year. So we had a new MyHeap data system called Lewis from the state that was launched without much testing and was really a nightmare for for everyone, whether it be clients or our staff. Then community action, because our data system was obsolete, we had to start a new one also. So our outreach staff got to learn 2 new systems at the same time. But we did come up with an unduplicated number. How accurate? It was as accurate as our county workers could make it. So for outreach, and those would be services like our food pantry, coats for kids, our holiday programs, an unduplicated number is, we only count the household once, would be 188 households entered our doors and received services. Energy assistance is LIHEAP. That comes federal to state, and on average they receive $400 to $500 per year. The myth is that they get their whole energy bill paid. It's a drop in the bucket for their energy bill is what they get. If families qualify for energy assistance and they own their own home, then they can go on a state prioritization list for weatherization. And then we have auditors who come and do an energy audit, and it is put into one of the state systems that is becoming obsolete, and they're limping along with it while they try to get the new one built and not make the same mistakes they made with energy. So then they do an audit to see how can they get the biggest bang for the buck. Do we put insulation in this house? Do we put a furnace? And so last year we had 6 homes weatherized in your county. Looking at dollar values, the 2 charts relate to each other. So the 188 outreach households received $49,175 worth of services. If you were going to go out and purchase food or coats or whatever, that's what you would have spent on those families. Energy, 159 households received $93,414. And that money went to energy companies, whether it was a local propane company or one of the big 3 utilities in Iowa. Weatherization, 6 households qualified, and they received $74,710 worth of, whether it could be a water heater, furnace insulation, whatever, to weatherize their home. And if you add those dollar amounts, that's where we come up with the $217,299. So, any questions about what I've shared so far? Because then Shakira will go into the data of who we see walking in our doors.
Do they visit with Northwest Iowa Planning? Because I know they have a weatherization deal too.
We work in conjunction with them. Ours are just for low income, that they have to qualify for that energy assistance for lighting in order to get on that list. And then we have contractors. So we have contractors that serve a 22 county area. And so they can be local contractors from this area. In fact, UDMO shares contractors with Mitsue. Okay, you want to talk about the...
Yep. So some of our boards of supervisors have said, well, who's coming through your doors? Who are you helping? A big thing to know is that our income guideline is 200% of poverty. So I'm going to jump down to the very bottom stat there, that 28% of the households, so 28% of 188 households who came through our doors, their total household income is at 100% poverty. So that's a single person, that's $15,000 a year. There's a whole chart that lays out all of the different income levels. But if you think about $15,000, how far does that spread when you consider that of those individuals coming in, we do serve a high percentage of senior citizens. 29% of those households are senior citizens. They're living on fixed incomes. So when those energy costs went up, when the grocery costs went up, when all of those expenses went up, their incomes didn't go up. We saw more of those individuals coming through our doors. 34% of the individuals are children who are being served. This past summer, we had the state made a change with the summer feeding program, and so we had Healthy Kids Iowa. We had an influx. We had more families with children birth to 17 who were coming in and needing assistance and utilizing that particular food program. A large percentage of the individuals who are coming in are employed. 27% of those households, individuals are employed, whether it's full-time, part-time, seasonal work, at least 6 months out of the year. They're working, their incomes are not sufficient enough to help them meet all of their needs. And that's where we fill that gap by providing the food assistance. That is our largest outreach program that we provide here in Osceola County. We have a number there for you, not a percent. There are 16 veterans here in Osceola County who are coming in and utilizing Upper Des Moines, who are coming in for food assistance once a week and or the energy assistance program. We also have 20% of the people coming in a disabling condition. And these are data points that we collect because we do report to the state, which then goes to the feds, to Congress, for them to have the conversation about CSBG. So, if you're paying attention at that federal level, all of the moving pieces there, CSBG is a small percent of our budget, but it does, it's a big part of what we do.
And CSBG is Community Service Block Grant.
Yep.
And that's been in the news lately. And so that funds our outreach office. If that money would go away, the outreach offices would be cut or go away, or we'd have to look at sharing by counties, merging together.
So much
that's
like
a
rides,
driver.
and
Yeah.
they're looking at all of their pieces, we're looking at our pieces, and wanting to share with you as Board of Supervisors, this is what we're doing at this point, and where do you see your needs? Here's how we're filling gaps. What gaps do you see? How do we partner together? Couple other stats that are on there. Only 13% of the individuals utilizing our service are single parent homes led by a female. That is, Julie, Julie in her 3 years in this role has been visiting with a lot of our boards, letting you know that it's not the single mom who is relying on our services. There's a whole lot of other people. Only 13% of those households. 46% are a single person. So that could be a single senior citizen. It could be a single working adult who the wage just doesn't support. It doesn't pay for the lifestyle. It's not a living wage. So those are the individuals who are coming in, who are assisting. So a lot of numbers there, but that's where our annual report, encourage you to take a look at that. That explains all of the different programs. We're focused on outreach and what that program is doing, but as Upper Des Moines, we also provide a number of other programs, so.
And I think as you look through this annual report, if you notice, once you get into the program section, off to the side, there's a list of what counties are served by that program. And because UDMO is basically 12 counties, but because of, it's kind of like school districts, because of district lines, we actually, in this fiscal year, touched upon 22 counties in northwest, central Iowa. So bigger than you think we are. We cover a lot of area.
And when you want to focus on numbers, the very back page is our overall agency budget for fiscal 25, or fiscal 24, sorry. I'm working on the 25 report, in fiscal 24. So you can see historically where we have been with our federal, state, and local funding and how that breaks down. Especially as you're in your budget talks and want to see where we're at.
So what days are you open in case I get calls?
Tuesdays and Thursdays.
From what time?
She's in there from 8 to 4:30,
Okay.
but office hours are 8:30 and then they close for the lunch and
Okay.
then 4. I will invite you to go to udmo.com. If you scroll down to the map and then hover over your county and click on it, it takes you right to the outreach page.
Okay.
And that is kept current.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, we keep that up to
Shakira
date.
does
We
that.
list the specific programs that are available in Osceola. And each of our counties is a little bit different based on the local contributions, the donations from community members, private donors, businesses, county, city contributions. Because we saw an influx of families with children this summer through that Healthy Kids Iowa, we know that there is a greater need here in Osceola and we want to do more. And as Julie had noted, with our fiscal department and Julie and I getting more versed in our roles, we're in a position where we know this is what we can provide in Osceola. Here's some of the other things we'd like to do. And that's where when your letter came in August, we're like, we really need to engage and work on that partnership and come and visit with the county. So we were very pleased that you invited us to the table to have that conversation.
And I think we have a stable outreach worker here now. You know, Pam's been here a few years. She's got her feet on the ground and starting to make those connections, which before when we started, we didn't have as good of employees, so.
Who did you say it was?
Pam Braun.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
She's been an asset, so she's working on building relationships even with like Quick Start to get their surplus food so that we can give that out. Any questions or anything else?
Who represents us from the public sector on your board now? Clerk, Travis, supervisor.
Oops, okay. Tim
I know Tim
left,
and Nick
and then
would
Stephen
both
Doyle is the new one.
So why was that not?
He is a
Why-
supervisor.
I
and
understand why weren't all of the 3 counties notified of that change to have opportunity? That'd be one concern I have, is there doesn't seem to be a lot of change amongst the board once we went to the,
Tripartite.
well, it always was tripartite. I
Oh,
served
no.
on the board years
Oh, yes, before
ago.
we moved in this role, the
And now
board was
we've
very
combined
large and
counties to
it
make
moved
it-
to the sectors.
That was that past executive director kind of thing.
Yeah. And
Oh,
that
so
to
your
me is
question
when
is when-
communications just ended. We've
Oh.
been not informed of anything. We've
Okay.
not had opportunities to participate when changes like that concur. To me, that's not a Dickinson County role to fill. It'd be those 3 counties' role to fill. So,
So when there was the election and a change in the board of supervisor, you would have liked to have said,
well, I think all 3
okay,
should be
Dickinson, Emmett will
notified
seal,
that it's changing.
okay, sure.
Yep.
Or at least have a expectation of your board representative to make contact to each of their
The counties
Counties
that are
that
part
they
of the sector,
represent, yeah.
sure.
Point well taken. I'm new. I'll
Yeah,
take,
no, I
I'll take
understand,
suggestions. You know, when I interviewed, I'm like, I'm transparent, I'm honest. I won't do things perfectly. I did it the way that it was done, and yeah, that sounds absolutely like that should have been done.
Who replaced Nick Carlson then?
Nathan Montgomery.
And then Jerry Cloberdance is now Mary Clausen.
Yes.
Down at the at-large. Because Jerry was out of.
They were all elected
Hamilton
officials.
County, right?
Yep, yep.
Anything further, gentlemen?
Thank you for the opportunity to come and share. And we will be back next year to share updated information with you. Hopefully there's a few dollars in your budget, but if not, we'll be back anyway, now that we've made that connection. And I will take your suggestions back to our administrative group and make sure we do that next time there's an opening. I appreciate the feedback.
We will get a report once in a while, just to let us know what's going on.
Yeah, we'll come every year, kind of thing.
Would you like us to come more often, or?
No, just
Yeah.
something in writing.
Sure.
Yep.
Yep. And when the annual report gets published, I do try to email those out to all Board of Supervisors. And then the link goes live on our website as well, so that you get a digital copy. You can flip through that at your convenience, and you don't have to wait for us to come in November, December to share that information. You can see that information. And our other documents are available on our website too, as far as our 990 and our audit and all those different pieces.
And once we pull this together at the end of the fiscal year, and then we make appointments to come out to every county, so we'll come back.
Okay.
But you still have monthly meetings, correct? Board meetings?
Yes.
Yep.
Yep. Sometimes we do not have it in December, and sometimes they vote to skip a summer one, but we had enough business, we're having a board meeting tonight.
Could you send out the minutes from each monthly meeting to
They are
board members of
posted
each
on
county?
our
I'm
webpage.
sure they're on the website, but to remember monthly to go and
Sure,
dig
sure.
that up.
Yep,
it'd
we
be nice
can
to
make
see.
a note for the administrative secretary, Dawn.
You just email it to me, I can forward it to the
Okay,
board.
perfect. That was my next question, is who's the best contact
I can do
to
that.
send that to? Absolutely, yep.
Would you be against coming every 6 months for a while? We have had really no representation for, I'm gonna say years.
Well, I was gonna say, we've moved into
Never.
this in
This is my third year.
22.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so, we haven't
So,
come to the table,
No,
so, yeah.
Maybe I would anyway, maybe like you to come 6 months from now and give us another update or something. That's just me.
Yeah.
Maybe the rest of the board.
Because it's been years since we've.
But we don't,
seen it.
we really had no say in anything for years.
understand kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, we're definitely very invested in wanting to build that relationship, and that collaboration with the county, because as you noticed, there are a number of households that really are utilizing that assistance, and we want to make sure that we're doing things in the most effective, cost-effective, efficient way, and
And I suspect there's more, it's just that we haven't had a stable worker until the past few years. And so I think forming that partnership and stability and doing more outreach, not just being a building, but getting out in our community. So that's what we're trying to start building here.
And the office is still where it has been, correct?
yep, we're the only one in the back side of the building, so
Yes.
it does look
There's-
like nobody is there, but Tuesdays and Thursdays Pam is there.
Yep, she was there today, so.
Thank you.
Okay, and if
Yes.
you have specific things you want in 6 months, let us know. This is our data girl, she'll pull it all out of,
Yeah, so yeah, if there's
the
a
two
specific
systems.
question that you have about the individuals or the specific services, we can pull that information together for you. So, yeah. Okay, well, thank you for coming
Thank
and
you very
letting us
much.
meet you and share information, and look forward to more partnership.
Thank you for coming. Have a Merry Christmas.
Yes, you also.
You too,
Thank
enjoy
you.
the holidays.
All right. Keith, have you been waiting around for this one?
Thirsty Leroy.
Bringing us up to date on the
I stayed a claims anyway.
change? We have a,
They haven't returned the contract. It's a nonprofit, so they were supposed to return a contract. We haven't in the last 2 or 3 years.
Pretty good deal.
Wow.
Helping people that need help, I guess.
I think the deal was we didn't think we were getting a little bit of this information like they just gave us, and we just go, what's going on? We get no feedback. Sorry.
anything further on Upper Des Moines? So they've not returned their contract, so to budget or to fund them would,
Well, our other issue, they wanted to return their contract this year, but we only budgeted $5. The last few years, we been budgeting $5 and haven't used it, so this year, or this current year, the board only wanted to budget $5, so that's all I got budgeted. So if we want to give them something this year, we're gonna have to do a budget amendment to do so. So, FYI.
I'd say put it in next year's.
all right. We move back up, we've got a 28E agreement for engineering services with the city of Ocheyedan. We previously passed this, but there was a requested change or a
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. So the previous agreement was for us to provide engineering design and bidding services for the city of Ocheyedan. They had some money that they needed to spend. We were doing 2nd Street, that's the east-west road, run through Ocheyedan past the corner bar and out of town. We did provide that service to them. We provided them a set of plans. We took it to bid, advertisement, bid opening. We attended, reviewed the bids for them, and recommended awarding the construction contract. The city of Ocheyedan would like for us to also do construction inspection. At the same rate, we basically bill them our loaded rate, all expenses in terms of insurance and overhead and social security and everything. So they pay the full rate for our services. We have no issue with providing that to them. It's probably going to be a 2-day paving job or something. It's not going to be too hard for us to provide that for them. So we internally as staff, we said we had no issue with it. So they're bringing forward this agreement modification for you to consider.
that'd be point 2 that just addresses construction administration versus.
Yes.
You say it's not a problem for you guys to do it.
It's not a problem for us to provide that service to them. Goes right past Mike's house.
So you need a motion. Make that motion that they do it.
Second.
We have a motion by Schulte, support from Loring, for approval of the amendment to the 2080 engineering service agreement with the city of Ocheyedan. Any further discussion? If none, those in favor of approval signify with aye. Aye. Those opposed, same sign. Next, we would look or consider approval of resolution number 6, 2526, approving plans and specifications, form of contract for Gilman I-15 Bridge.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm happy to announce that we have pretty much made it through the process with FEMA. It is now sitting in their final large project review, but it's been through all of the technical and environmental reviews. It's been to the state of Iowa, and I have signed off on it now. It's back in their lab for final processing before they obligate the funds. So at this point, we are comfortable with moving forward with advertising the project. This is for the Poet Bridge, down there, the I-15 bridge. The plans, you already actually did approve at one of the previous meetings. The form of contract and the specifications, it's the standard specifications of the state, and the contract is our standard contract that we do, or I'm sorry, contract that we do with all DOT style projects. This is going to be a locally let project, not through the DOT. So our consultant is going to put it on the various trade boards throughout the state. We're going to advertise in the local papers, and then we are going to personally call the 4 bridge contractors that do all the work up in this region of the state. And in terms of the contract, we're also going to make sure that it, even though it's locally led, it does have federal funds. So we're going to ensure that it has things like your Davis-Bacon wages, Title VI work, Buy America, things like that that require federal projects. We're looking to advertise this in February, with the bid opening at the end of February, and then bring it back to the board to award the project in the first meeting of March. We're targeting instead of a working day contract with us starting this letting, I guess, in the winter, we're just going to look at a completion date of mid-September of this coming year, so that we have the bridge open by harvest. So that's our target. With that, I'd be happy to answer any of the questions.
You said the Poet Bridge. Now, is that the one by Walt Seibert? That on the gravel road that was washed out?
Yes, the bridge that was washed out west of Poet.
Okay, I was told yesterday that there's no signage on the south side of that.
We have road closed barricades and
They
snow
said there was
fence.
a barricade across.
So someone's pulled the signage or pulled barricades? Or?
Evidently.
Okay.
That's just what I was told yesterday.
We'll check that out, make sure that traffic control is back up. Someone's going to be in for a bad surprise
Yeah.
if they blow through that. So, okay, we'll look at that.
Not a Dukes of Hazzard moment.
Unfortunately, there's no ramp. So if there was a ramp, maybe. It's only 2 spans. Someone could try it.
We're not recommending that.
No, evidently somebody went through the fence that was across the road, and you guys put that up there already.
Well, we didn't have like a fixed fence. We had our barricades with the road closed, and then we have the snow fence and stakes outside. Well, that's typically how we would close a road off. Okay, I'll make sure we'll check that out.
Okay.
You said that was the south side?
Yeah.
Interest in action on resolution number 6, 2526.
I would make a motion for resolution 6, 2526.
Support. We have a motion from Helmer, support from Loring, for approval of resolution number 6, 2526. Further discussion? If none, Mr. Helmers, how do you vote?
Aye.
Mr. Loring?
Aye.
Mr. DeBoer?
Aye.
Mr. Schulte?
Aye.
And I vote aye. We have approval. We also have resolution 7 before us, certifying utility, gas, and electrical valuations.
This is part of our evaluation report that we go on.
Any indication how that's changed? Or do you know?
I do not know, sorry.
Should have asked it sooner. Interest in action on resolution number 7, 2526, certifying utility, gas, and electric valuation.
Is this the same as it was before?
Well, it changes every year. That's just part of our evaluation report, and the numbers come from the state. They certify it to us.
motion on resolution 7/25/26.
We have a motion from Schulte, support from DeBoer for approval of resolution number 7/25/26. Any further discussion? If no discussion, Mr. Schulte, how do you vote?
Aye.
Mr. DeBoer?
Aye.
Mr. Helmers? Mr. Loring? And I vote aye. We have before us the consideration of Township Board reappointments for terms that would end 12/31/29. All of these have been contacted and are agreeing in agreement to it. Can we make one action on approving all? Anyone interested in one motion for approval of all reappointments?
Make that motion. Support.
We have a motion from Loring, support from Helmers for approval of the Township Board reappointments as listed here. Kenneth Benz, Richard McLean, Nancy Monarch, Jed Cox, Darrell Tierney, Todd Ackerman, Derek Ackerman, Doyle Tellinghusen. Any discussion on that motion? If none, those in favor of approval signify with aye. Aye. Those opposed, same sign. I have approval. Next, we would have claims for consideration.
I just have one question on conservation. 85 Chevy pickup repairs, $4,270. How much is that pickup worth?
That's what Jerry's been asking.
I don't think it's worth $4,200 myself.
We didn't get 42 yet, they sold it.
I made them wash their hands of it, or I shouldn't say I made them, but I suggested they wash their hands of it. I think they got $3,500. That was we've had this discussion for a long time. That was a bill from somebody that Nick and Darren hired to work on this pickup.
Okay. But it's gone.
Yeah, you don't even want to know the final total of what that pickup cost.
Okay. I'll leave it at that.
It's not a good situation. And not that I know everything, but I know a little bit. I told them from day one, do not start this project. I suggested to them, and they went ahead and did it. It's probably pushing 20. And they got $3,500 for the pickup.
Okay.
Thank you for catching that.
I was looking at that, I thought, this is stupid.
It's been stupid for 2 years.
I know I saw a claim in there for Bosma Water.
There is a claim, number 1142 for Boswell Water Service.
I'll make a motion on that.
Support.
I will abstain on that item. We have a motion from Schulte, support from Helmers for approval of claim 1142 to Boswell Water Service. Any discussion? Hearing none, those in favor of approval signify with aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. I abstain. We would have the remainder of the claims to look at. I don't see any other conflicts.
Didn't see anything else in there, so I'll make a motion on the remainder. Support it.
We have the claim for education and training under supervisors is for the ISAC supervisors, state supervisors meeting at the end of January. I'd encourage you guys to consider attending that as well. But we have a motion from Schulte and support from DeBoer for approval of the remainder of the claims. Any other discussion on them? Hearing none, those in favor signify with aye. Aye. Those opposed, same sign. We are down to other business. guess I would, under future agenda items, I'll just put get your minds thinking on it. As I said on the ISAC board, they do pay for flight and registration to NACO conferences. I've long questioned how valuable that might be. There are plenty that say that if we aren't there and speaking up for our state, then we aren't thought of. So I'm giving thought to that. I'm not necessarily opposed to just paying for lodging for myself, but as we consider budgets, I guess I'd like your guys to weigh in on whether that's a reasonable expense to budget for or not. Just kind of a
How much is it?
heads up. I haven't even looked. I don't know what lodging would be for the 4 days in, I think it's March. I haven't entirely decided I want to fit that into my schedule yet either, but I think the legislative one in March in DC probably makes more sense than the annual one, but it's something I'm considering. So just putting it out there for you guys to think about as we look forward to budgets and things.
I know I don't want to go.
So much I want to go, but
We're trying to work with Corey and stuff and come up with a plan that, so it doesn't happen in our courthouse like it did in Lyon County. I don't know if there's a plan that we can come up with, but how do you prevent that from happening? I don't know.
I know, it's
I don't know what to do there.
desirable, but I don't know how you accomplish it.
How do they break it?
I have not heard, they didn't know if they were hiding in the courthouse for that day, or they broke in. I don't know for sure, because there was court that day that they were there attending. They did a lot of damage to that courthouse, a lot.
They got them.
We did, thankfully.
Hope they hang with the guy.
It was more geared towards the court system than anything, but
I would guess the state would get more involved in that.
I would hope so.
With it being
I would
court
hope so.
facilities. Time will tell.
Time will tell.
Just don't use them before they get old.
Shield wants off to get old.
I thought maybe the courthouse before you could use them.
I was saving them for you guys. We have a lot of goodies downstairs too, so we don't need any more.
Anything else under the other business item? As we look to that final one to adjourn, any motion?
Motion. Support.
We have a motion from Loring and support from Helmers for adjournment. All those in favor signify with aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. We are adjourned until